To millions, Jay Silverheels will forever be remembered as Tonto, the loyal and stoic companion of the Lone Ranger. With his strong presence and calm dignity, he became one of the first Native American actors to achieve mainstream fame in Hollywood. But behind the fame, the cameras, and the cowboy hat, Jay Silverheels carried a secret, one that haunted him until his final days. When his wife finally revealed the truth about what he endured, the world saw a side of Jay few ever imagined. A man whose final years were filled with pain, regret, and the heavy burden of being misunderstood. Born Harold J. Smith on the Six Nations Reserve in Ontario, Canada, Jay's early life was shaped by hardship and resilience. A proud Mohawk, he was an exceptional athlete, a boxer, a lacrosse star, and a man with a quiet confidence that stood out. Hollywood came calling almost by accident when a film scout spotted him and offered him a chance at a screen test. That chance would change his life forever. When The Lone Ranger premiered in 1949, Jay's portrayal of Tonto became iconic. He stood shoulder to shoulder with the masked hero, symbolizing loyalty and honor. For countless Native American children, he was the first face on screen they could look up to. A man who looked like them, spoke with pride, and carried himself with quiet strength. But while audiences adored Tonto, Jay Silverheels privately struggled with how Hollywood treated him and his heritage. At the time, Native American actors were rarely given serious or respectful roles. Jay was constantly typecast as the Indian sidekick, often reduced to broken English and stereotypes that didn't reflect his intelligence or culture. Behind the scenes, he fought for dignity, correcting scripts, demanding fairness, and advocating for Native representation. He wanted to show the world that Indigenous people were more than the one-dimensional characters Hollywood portrayed. But his efforts were often met with silence or laughter. As years passed, The Lone Ranger ended, and so did Jay's steady stream of roles. Hollywood had moved on, and the actor who once brought authenticity and heart to the screen found himself largely forgotten. Financial struggles followed. Yet, through it all, Jay remained proud, refusing to pity himself. He turned his pain into purpose, co-founding the Indian Actors Workshop in Los Angeles to help young Native performers break into the industry that had once sidelined him. But behind closed doors, his health began to fail. Years of hard work, emotional stress, and frustration took their toll. By the 1970s, Jay suffered a debilitating stroke that left him partially paralyzed and unable to speak clearly. The man once known for his commanding voice and strength was now confined to his home, battling the slow decline of his body and spirit. It was during these heartbreaking final years that his wife, Mary DeRoma, stood by his side, watching the man she loved fade away. After his passing in 1980, Mary finally revealed the painful truth about his last years, that Jay Silverheels had died heartbroken, feeling forgotten and misunderstood. She confessed that what hurt him most wasn't the illness, but the way Hollywood treated him after he had given it everything. The same industry that once celebrated him turned its back when he could no longer perform. Mary also shared another secret, Jay's deep sadness about how people remembered Tonto. He often told her that while he was proud of the role, it also trapped him. They only saw Tonto, he said, never the man behind him. His final wish, she revealed, was that people remember him not just as a sidekick, but as a proud Mohawk man who broke barriers in an industry that tried to silence his voice. When the truth came out, fans were heartbroken. The charming, brave Tonto they had adored for decades had lived a life of struggle, prejudice, and pain, and had carried it all with quiet grace. Jay Silverheels didn't just play a hero, he was one.